YouTube.
Watch out.
Oh, they be dropping.
Show the mangoes back there. Something.
The mango tree right here. We in the tropics.
Your camera around. The ones behind you. Mango mountain behind you.
Got mangoes on deck in the back. Yes, sir.
Y'all know the drill. Now, what did you say? You said something about
I want my reflection.
Yes, sir. But you said something about your bones, something like that.
Yeah, I was talking about like people that living in the United States of America. You know, 90% of the United States of America is only producing 90% vitamin D deficiency and 10% of UVB vitamin D sunlight. And vitamin D sunlight is very important because it's good for your bones, your skin, your health, everything as a whole. Like you gotta have every day. You gotta be in a natural environment getting 90% of UVB vitamin D sunlight. You feel me? 90% of that and 10% of food and water.
Why do you think that people decide to stay there? Like, I kind of think people are kind of trapped there through the subconscious programming and TV and advertisements and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to be other nutrients.
Oh shoot! I think I still got my damn iPhone headphones plugged in.
You all right?
Yeah, I gotta take these ones off. No, I can leave them in.
It's got to be like a reason why people. Oh! These mangoes just falling by. Falling. This one busted open. Ooh, this one's gonna be real sweet. Take that. Just taste a little bit of it, man. Absorb the frequency, sir. Just absorb the frequency a little bit. Let me know how to. You want me to hold it? Here.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
How you open up?
Just open it. Shit. Your fingers, your teeth.
Yeah.
Some.
Yeah, it's just like a orange fruit.
Some.
Mango right here.
Taste it. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think.
Okay.
Yeah, getting accustomed to the frequency a little bit. Let me know what you think. Is it sweet? Is it good?
Oh yeah.
Bussin'.
Yeah.
Bussin'. Exactly. You see why we got the big mango mountain back there. Bussin', man. But yeah, part of it's more than just the sunlight. It's more than just the sunlight. What people are missing, you know. Because, let me make sure. Because you got other vitamins and other minerals that people are missing. People ain't thinking about nutrition in the States. What do you think people's mind is normally on in the States instead of nutrition?
It's instant gratification. Their mind is on money, cars, jewelry, views, likes, comments. You know, focused on their profile, bill, and stuff.
Why do you think people put money before their health?
Because people haven't tapped in with their animalistic nature yet.
The animalistic?
Yeah. Like,
explain.
Tapping into your animalistic nature is basically, it's going to show you how to start being, how to create a sustainable lifestyle for you without having to spend no money for it. You feel me?
Well, you know, normally, let me flip this thing around. How do I flip this thing? Right there. So, you know, normally, like it was said, people don't really focus on their health. They don't put their health first. They put the material things that they want first. And if they die with all the material stuff, then they think they're happy, but the whole time they're suffering just trying to get the material stuff. Just trying to get it. Why they be unhealthy with high blood pressure, taking like high blood pressure pills have what's called calcium channel blockers in them. So they sit there and they taking a pill that's blocking out that calcium, which is increasing their blood pressure. And then they never think, dang, if this is medicine I'm taking and I'm taking it forever, that shit probably ain't working.
Oh yeah.
They never think that, you know.
Oh yeah.
If I got to take this for the rest of my life, what I'm doing probably is not working. So I need to figure out something else. Something else. You know. It's a lot of reasons, man. It's what people choose to watch. If you're watching a lot of the news, if you're listening to the radio too much, and you listening to the news on the radio, you're getting all this negative energy, and then once you get the negative energy, it changes how you feel in general. It just change. It's gonna change your whole emotional body. If you watching horror movies, if you watching rapes and murders and killers and all this other stuff, it change how you feel in your everyday life. So you got to pay attention to what you put in your subconscious mind. Correct or incorrect? 100%.
Yeah, the conscious mind is just an illusion. It's all about that self-conscious. It's just like perspective. Like I used to thought it was always about perception. Oh yeah, perception. It's not really about perception. It's all about projection.
Can you toss that out over the fence, please, sir? Don't follow him. Watch your step. It is rocky down here. Like this dashiki got on though.
Oh yeah.
Got the Redskins fit.
Yeah, you already know.
You see? I'm a Packers fan. Myself, yeah, Green Bay fan. But yeah, people.
Oh no, I ain't no Redskins fan. I just like that symbol.
Fair enough. But yeah.
Cause I know black people is Indians and Native Americans.
Mm-hmm.
You know, from different tribes. You got different tribes, Indians and stuff. You got Cherokee, Blackfoot. You got a lot of them. And I ain't gonna lie to you now, they was originated in. I mean, it was everywhere around the world. You know, but they was originated in like in America, United States of America. Like we already been there. We didn't like. We're not Africans at all. We're not Africans Americans. So when you see anybody that's promoting African panism or whatever,
Pan-Africanism.
Yeah. Like you already know they just somebody that's caught up in their lower self. You feel me? Supporting white supremacy. You know, like you need to listen to somebody that got antennas, that's got dreadlocks and stuff. That's telling you, like, you know, we Native Americans and we Indians. Don't listen to nobody that's promoting Africanism, whatever case, because if we really was Africa, people already came in ships and bring us back to the motherland. You want to know why they ain't happening? Because we not Africans. You know, that's one thing I had to start figuring out by myself. I used to thought I was African, so I started realizing, like, man, it's no way in hell that we African, man. It's just no way in hell, you know.
Yeah, it's kind of difficult to think about the concept of really intelligent people being slaves. It's kind of weird.
No, but I don't got nothing against Africans, you know, Africa or Africans and stuff like that, because they going through the same stuff that we going through.
It's a pattern.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I speak about over here. Is all of life is patterns. You're going to see the same pattern playing out in every continent, in every place. It's just the same stuff. It's about you being an observer. You're the person that's here to observe the patterns. So you're a part of it, but at the same time, you're not. Yeah. Because you know that it exists. You know, you're like, all right, this part is real. This part isn't real. Mm-hmm. Now, to go deeper than that, we would say, let's not look at us being humans. Let's say that we just cells, whether it be a bacterial cell or a fungus cell or just an energy cell. Let's look at ourselves as cells.
That's what I'm saying. Like when you become tapping on your animalistic nature, you're gonna only be focusing on your cells. Mm-hmm. You know, like you ain't gonna be focused on really materialistic things, clothes and shoes. You're gonna start letting all that stuff go. Like. And the reason why, okay, somebody be like, why you call yourself a God? And that's why I tell somebody, the reason why I call myself a God is because I surrender to something that sustained my life, which is my God. I surrender to God to become a God. And when I mean surrender to God, surrender to nature, Mother Nature, surrender to the sun, surrender to the water, surrender to the tree, surrender to the fruit. You gotta surrender to that. You feel me? And you gotta go where it's growing abundantly at. You feel me? In a tropical area, you gotta surrender to it. You feel me? And you can't just surrender to it for only 1 week, 2 days, 3 days. No, you gotta surrender to it 60 through 90 days. You gotta surrender. You gotta recondition your mind for stop thinking like a human. You're not a human. You know, you an animal. You God. You know.
But the human is an animal. The human is an animal.
Yeah.
And anytime there is breath in any cell in the world, there's a spirit.
Yeah.
Because breath and spirit go hand in hand.
Yeah.
So what we'll notice all of the cells have in common, or many of the cells have in common, that have spirits, they like to be connected to the earth.
Mm-hmm.
And they have to be connected to the earth in order to function properly.
You want to know
like
why
the trees,
I start saying I'm a
like
human?
the plants. Go ahead.
Because I recondition my mind to don't think like one. Like, being a human is the type of person to say, oh, I can't survive without money. I need money to survive. Oh no, I gotta keep working the job, man. You feel me? You feel me? Like.
But could we just say those humans are programmed though?
Yeah.
Because we're all humans. The thing is, we got different programs. I like to look at us as a natural computer, and every computer comes with a different program.
Yeah, I don't got nothing against the human programs and stuff like that though.
Certain types.
I just know that, you know, humans got the most attachments to them that's keeping them in their lower self. Like, you know, like that's why I try to, like, you know, take myself away from calling myself a human. I just try to stay on, like, if it ain't God, then I can say animal. You feel me? If it ain't God, then I say.
Pase amor.
I have my mom come through. I hope that's okay.
Hola, pase amor. It's my greeting. What up, Jeremiah?
Everything's good. Everything's good.
Todo bien. Hola. But yeah, keep going. Jeremiah would like this conversation too. I bet he would.
Oh yeah. So like I said, you know, it's deeper than that. Like, you know, like when you surrender to God and become a God, you feel me? You know, you're gonna basically tap in with your animalistic nature, and you're gonna tap into your inner child too. You know.
Could you tap in with the all as well?
Mm-hmm.
Because like last night, Jeremiah and us had a conversation, and I was like, people say they want to have a stronger connection with God, etc., etc. And the first question people should ask is, what is God?
What is God?
What? So to you, I ask the same question. What is God?
God is basically everything around you. God is the tree, the plants, the herbs, the fruit. Like anything that sustain your life is God, basically.
So what about the things that don't sustain your life? They would have to be God too, right?
In some form, type of way.
Yeah, because if God is all things, it would be difficult for me to say that God is everything around me and not me.
Oh yeah, God, me too.
You see? So that would make you a part of God and me and the trees and the house and everything, literally everything that I see.
Mm-hmm.
It's all the same being, but in a million pieces, an infinite amount of pieces.
Oh, yeah.
I used to tell people, if you had this piece of glass, a big giant piece of glass, and you call this piece of glass God,
Oh yeah.
and then you break the glass,
Oh yeah.
is it something different, or is it still God, but just in a whole bunch of different pieces?
Yeah, it's God and million trillion different pieces.
Exactly. So what I noticed, especially with people with darker skin complexion, we like to say that things aren't God when it's something that's unfavorable to us or something that we don't like. Like I used to talk to people and they'd be like, man, white people ain't God, man. They not this and they not that. And I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
you can't say that it's a piece of the creation, but it ain't a part of the creator, even though it's a part of the creation. Like that doesn't make sense.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. Like the whole purpose of us, just like me and you were saying, talking about yesterday, you got extremes for a reason. You got the extremely dark and extremely light for a reason, so we can experience everything in the middle and everything on the outside.
Oh yeah.
That's why we got the extremes. You got straight hair and you got curly hair. You got big and you got small. You got fat and you got skinny. We looking at all of these extremes, quote unquote, so that we can perceive anything and everything possible that could be between that or of that, you know?
Oh yeah.
Anytime you see a like, for example, we sitting under a mango tree, but every single one of them things can produce trees that's gonna look similar to them, not identical, but they're gonna look similar, and they still a part of the same thing. They got the same mother / father. It's gonna be the tree.
Oh yeah.
You know, and that's how that's how all the reality is. You're just looking at the same patterns playing out over and over and over. That's also quantum physics. You're just looking at the same stuff playing out over and over and over. So once you become aware of the patterns, that's when you become your most powerful self.
Oh yeah.
You see, and it's gonna affect and adjust how you speak
Oh yeah.
all the time, because your perspective most of the time is gonna be super humble, and it's gonna be. One thing I like to say is God is kind of this allowing state. It kind of lets certain things be because it created everything to observe it.
Oh yeah.
At the same time, it is everything to observe itself in every form.
Oh yeah.
The more possibilities that I see, the more possibilities that I have, the more powerful I feel. If I'm a person that's never left my neighborhood, I ain't gonna be that powerful because I don't know a whole bunch of shit.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna know, you know, until I get out and start experiencing more different forms of light and expanding my light and putting more light in my mind through my eyeballs. You see? Go ahead.
Yeah, but you know, but like I said, like we all gotta go back and support that inner child in us. You feel me? Like when you live in an unnatural environment and you got conditions going to school and graduating and stuff, and now you gotta become an adult. Now you gotta work a job, this and that. You feel me? Now you can't. That inner child has been blocked now. You feel me? You know, like like you don't have a mind of your own no more. You just have a mind of the oppressor. You feel me? The same person put on the same shoes and pants and shirts and drawers as you. They don't need the money, but you gotta need the money. But I don't have nothing against the money at all. You feel me? I just tell people use the money to invest it back to nature.
100%.
Use the money to invest back into nature.
Now that you mention this, I had a thought a while back, and I said, you know, when we look at jobs are kind of our way to give back to society, because I needed a healthier perspective on working and just having jobs in general.
Yeah.
And just like with churches and religions, it's kind of our way to be a part of society. You know, even when you look at some of these tribes and stuff, sometimes if you watch YouTube or look at the ones that when they're traveling the world and going different places, they're not the best when it comes to interacting with different societies of people.
Oh yeah.
Because they're different. So now there's a bunch of curiosity and there's a bunch of fear. Like if you see a wild dog on the road or a wild animal on the road, you're not finna just be like, oh God, yeah, I'm happy, man, what you doing? You're gonna be a little hesitant. You're gonna be a little hesitant, you know. So society and jobs is kind of, like I said, they're a way of us to stay integrated in a way. It's a way for us to share a part of ourselves with the rest of the world. You know, and that's why, as I said earlier, I like to help people. I'm not a big fan of helping the corporations, but I love working with individual people. But most of the help and most of the work that I do is working with specifically individual people.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
So,
like working for God, basically.
yeah, because everything God, even if you got a job, you're still working for God. It may not be the version or the form of God you want to work for.
The Lord self of God. The Lord
If you want to consider the Lord self. It just depends on your perception of it.
But you know, it's pros. It's pros and cons.
100%.
Of working the job. Like the pro of it is, you know,
Got it.
oh yeah. The pros of it is you giving your service to some corporation, some organization or whatever, and they giving you the money to you to your advantage to be able to travel or do this or
Do whatever you want to
do
do.
that,
Yeah.
do that, blah blah blah, or whatever the case be. You feel me? The con of it is that it's separating you from you knowing who you are. Like if you too focused on your job, you too focused on the money, you don't have time to focus on yourself, because
That's 100% true.
Because they say that you got 24 hours in a day, right? You got 24 hours in a day. You supposed to sleep how many hours? 8, right? how many hours you got left? 16. You feel me? And you supposed to go to work for how many hours? 8, right? How many hours you got left? 8. Got 8 hours left. You just got off work. You haven't called your children. You haven't watched TV. You ain't took a shower. You ain't did anything. And you just got off work. Now you got to travel from work and go all the way home and still be able to reach that 8 hours before 12 a.m. hits or sun go down or whatever like that. Because they say when the sun go down, that's basically when you supposed to be resting.
Yeah, your body can heal itself.
So you don't have time to focus on yourself like that. It's like you're going to have to eventually come to a point in time you have to detach from that and start focusing on you. Because if you keep repeating that same cycle over and over again, you would never know who you are, and then you're just gonna come back doing the same thing in your next life.
Yeah, it's essentially you lose yourself.
Yeah, it's like a simulation. I tell people all the time.
It is
like the past, the present, and the future is basically it's now. Like the now is the future or whatever like that. We in the happening, you know. So you can't say I still got time. No, you don't have time. Whatever you're doing now is going to play out 5 to 10 years down the line because you procrastinating about it. Any way that you want to live 5, 10 years from now, you got to do it now. That's the only way, Flex. You got to do it now because every day is another chance, another opportunity. If you slip, it only just take one day you miss, bam, boom. Now something happens in the world, everything gets shut down, locked down. You can't travel, you can't do nothing. You feel me? That's all it takes. And then you gotta understand, like, working is still not good for even being with people and shit like that. You know, being in a functioning relationship with somebody, because it's like y'all gotta be around each other 24/7. Like that's how we used to live digitally. We used to be around each other 24/7. All this separation, or I'm at work, you over there. You feel me? Y'all don't have time to bond with each other. Y'all gotta bond. That's how we survive the best, when we bond. You feel me?
Yeah,
Yeah, we gotta bond.
it's like there's a lot of different angles to tackle.
Cause I look at it like this: like if anything happened to the system, okay, for example,
Ain't they gonna have to?
I'm a man, right? And I got a woman. She might not work while I'm working. I might not be working nowhere close to where I live at with her. Maybe if I'm not living with her, right? If anything happens to the system, whether you drive or you don't, or you catch transportation, how you gonna get back home to her? Like how you gonna get back to her if you're not like actually like y'all preparing, y'all don't know nothing about this shit. Like y'all going with the flow, y'all going the program, y'all don't know what's going on with the dollar crashing, y'all don't know what's going on with it. Y'all just in the same repeated cycle every day in a simulation. Just waking up, you know, waking up, going to sleep, waking up, going to sleep, doing the same stuff over and over again. So whatever it might be, one day you might be at work, right? Or for example, I might be at work, and then the system crash. I don't drive. You feel me? And even if I do drive, when the system crash, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be mad cars on the road. People are waiting for this shit to fall. You gotta understand. It's no hope for the next generation because it's hardly no opportunities like that.
Let's talk about that. Let's do a debate right here.
Debate.
I apologize for the interruption. Let's do a debate.
Yeah.
Okay. And specifically, I usually don't like to debate, but there's a point, there's a perspective that needs to be seen. Number one, the system won't crash because there will always be people fueling it. That's always going to happen. If you have a business that's very successful, you're not just going to stop your business.
Yeah.
You're not, because you keep getting energy from it. Even if you're not around, if you're not there, there's no need. The system crashing concept has existed since before we was born. Like that's something people have been talking about for a long time.
The system don't crash, it transforms like energy. Like when people on the internet, or just me in general, from my perception, I can't even say I can say perception or whatever like that. When the system crashing, it's transformed like energy. That's all it's doing. It's going to crash and transform to something else. You feel me? Because you gotta understand, you gotta look up the Willie Lynch letter, the making of a slave. You know, a lot of people got a Willie Lynch syndrome right now to this day. So basically it's like this, you feel me? They let you keep your body, but they took your mind from you. The next stage process when the system collapsed is they don't want you to have control of your avatar body no more. They want you to be tripped up, and then they're gonna create another form of currency. But you got to take the mark of the beast. You got to take this microchip in you. You feel me?
That's why the system will crash. Think about what you just said. Think about what you just said.
Yeah.
You said when the system crashed, they don't want to do this, they don't want to do that. The whole purpose of taking somebody's mind is so they can keep perpetuating something.
Yeah.
So if there are beings, whether it be some kind of handlers or puppet masters or whatever, that want the system to keep going, all they got to do is just take the person's mind so they can keep it going. That's what's happening. There's no need for it to crash because that doesn't benefit anybody. It doesn't benefit the people that want to control others. It doesn't benefit the people that's in it. There's no benefit to it crashing. And the U.S. dollar is the longest standing form of currency that has lasted. All the other forms of currency that the United States had, they all failed.
Nah, like everything that's going in Switzerland and all these other places where they already got the chips in their hand and they got to pay for stuff with their hand. That's what they want. They don't want this paper. They don't want that digital type of stuff. They want the next form of control. The next form of control is controlling the avatar. Because
that's what TV is for. That's what propaganda is for.
Nah, they they want to get it to the point where they want full submission. You're not full submission. It's like, okay, they got us with the TV, the electronics, social media, this and that. They got us like that though. But it only take one video of somebody exposing the whole world and breaking it down from point to point, everything like that. And then they just spark their mind and just be like, okay, I'm taking both of my foots out of it. I don't want to have one foot in, one foot out. I'm taking both of my foots out of it, out of the situation. And then, you feel me? That's one person that they lost, that they can't keep supporting their system. So they need full control. They need you. The reason why they want to, the reason why the government really want to just, okay, for example, one, the government is trying to, I mean, everything is done on purpose and everything is done by design. You feel me? Everything got an expiration date. The reason why the system is going to collapse, because one, how they build a system, burning fossil fuels and all that stuff like that. Like NASA even exposing like human beings got to start living a homestead lifestyle and stuff like that. They got to start getting electricity through solar and stuff like that. All because what the effect it's doing on the earth. And the government noticed.
We got solar over here.
Oh yeah, over
here? Yeah, we can go on the roof and we got solar panels over here.
Oh yeah, you know, like that's the future. Like the nomadic lifestyle, the homestead lifestyle is the future.
The world actually has been changing to get more natural. Like when people like you and me was growing up, because you should be the same generation as me. Oh, yeah. But when we was growing up, we didn't have many people talking about using windmills and using solar panels. Like we didn't have that stuff growing up, and you'll notice that. And we also didn't have organic food and vegan food. We didn't have that stuff when we was growing up. So that lets you know that the world actually has been changing, and our mind, the collective consciousness, has been changing to live a more healthier lifestyle. You know, the unhealthy stuff is always going to exist because that's how we stay balanced, because we got the unhealthy and the healthy. But our awareness of what is healthy is certainly a lot higher when it comes to the collective consciousness, 100%. Oh, yeah. And people want to stray away from using money. Like being in the tropical environments, they don't have to use it as much because the one of the biggest consumers of money is food. So in the tropics, of course, you got like our environment here. You got fruit that's already growing. You got people that's already growing fruits in their yard. We can look around at the neighbor's yard. Like the neighbors across the street got about 5 sour trees. And they got freaking papayas. So like, if we're gonna talk about like a CRISPR or nanotechnology and stuff like that, the people in the tropics don't necessarily have to be concerned with that because there's more.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And then I'm gonna break down a gem right here. People in the United States of America keep thinking like, okay, I can just create a homestead, a bunker, you feel me, off the grid, off the radar, and I'll be safe. You gotta understand, you still on the grid. You're still on the grid. Like I used to think just like that. oh, maybe I can stay in the United States of America and just live off the grid and just hide my stuff out or create me a little bunker or whatever like that. You know, and I was affiliated with a movement, you feel me?
Just say it, man.
Oh yeah,
You only talking to yourself.
oh yeah, I was affiliated with a Black Panther movement or whatever like that. Like I be telling the Black Panther the same way too. Like how we gonna fight this same enemy that's killing us biologically and chemically. You feel me? They manipulating the weather, like they trying to freeze us to death. They trying to like they controlling our genes.
But at what point
our genetics? So we gotta fight back using our cell midbrain. Like we gotta fight back to protect our cells. We can't use guns. Guns ain't gonna work if they trying to kill you genetically.
So I got a question then. So
it's all about your genetics and your cells. It's not about, you know, you having guns and weapons and stuff. They ain't gonna do anything if they trying to, like, you know, they already trying to get you with your food. They're trying to get you with the air. They're trying to get you with the sun. They're trying to get you like, and then you gotta understand, like, if they trying to kill you genetically, they trying to kill the plants too. They trying to kill the land, all that. Like they poison the soil. Like you gotta understand. This shit is deeper than what y'all think it is, or whatever like that. Money cannot save you. You can go off the grid. That ain't gonna save you either, because you gotta understand. You still on the grid. United States of America is the grid. When you leave the country, you off the grid. You off the radar, because you in your natural environment. When you in your natural environment, you off the grid. When you in an unnatural environment, you on the grid. That's why that's how I think now. I'm off the grid now because I'm in my natural environment.
So I got a question. At what point, hear me out.
Yeah.
This is specifically for you. At what point do we hold ourselves accountable for what we're choosing to consume?
At what point do we...
I'll say it again. At what point do we hold ourselves accountable for what we're choosing to consume, instead of pointing the finger and saying it's the invisible white man, or it's this other thing, or it's the they and whatever pronoun we want to use? When do we be like, hey, black people, you just need to do better? Hey, darker skinned people, you just need to do better?
Everything's self-reflection.
Huh?
You're doing it to yourself. Like everything's self-reflection.
So that's the remedy. The remedy is we should be telling people, stop trying to blame it on other people, because like you just said, you're doing it to yourself. You can't say the white man forcing you to eat this food, and forcing you to do this, and ain't no forcing shit.
Oh yeah.
Didn't nobody force you to stay where you was at. Didn't nobody force you to do anything.
Yeah.
Didn't nobody force you to eat that mango? I was like, man, it takes.
It is common sense though. It is common sense though. But a lot of people think subjectively instead of objectively.
Correct.
You feel me? Like
sometimes I'll say.
You know, a lot of people not logical thinkers. They go based on where everybody else going, instead of going based on the unknown and the unseen or whatever like that. Mm-hmm. Like a lot of people. I mean, I understand a lot of people be studying astrology, and quantum physics and mathematical equations and stuff like that. You feel me? But you gotta look at it like this. This world can be all the way real, because if you see, okay, a lot of melanated people, if you see majority of, I can't even say melanated, it's all about carbon, man. Like if you see a lot of people that's carbonated and they doing the wrong thing or whatever like that, you know,
they're running the program.
You gotta look at that. They carbonated like you, and you supposed to be the one that's supposed to be the most intelligent person on the planet. And you see, and you look at that mathematical equation that they doing the wrong thing. What's that showing you?
So what would you do to correct it if you see somebody that's carbonated or melanated, what people like to say? What would you do to help correct their programming? Because essentially all they are is just programming. That's the simplest way to look at it.
Yeah.
The deepest and most simple, they just program, bro.
Stop trying to stop following the narrative. Like stop following the narrative. If you see a lot of and lead by example. So look, a lot of people, you know, they come and then they leave. No different than me. I did it before. I'm perfect, but I got flaws. Like everybody got flaws. Everybody, you know, we here because we trying to learn from our mistakes. Like I left and came, you know, this my third time, but this my final time. This is return. You know, this is the third return, and this is the final stage of my life that I started to look at it like completely submission to this shit. Like, it's over. Like, I'm done. Like, you feel me? This is where I'm at right now. But like I said, a lot of people they get the information, then they come to their natural environment, and then they leave. It's because they think that they can use this knowledge to fix an unnatural environment. You can't.
They lack faith, bro.
Yeah.
It's because they. I'm here to tell you, from experience, it's because they lack faith. They got comfortable with how they wanted to live their life. They was afraid of losing something. They got in the mind state of lack instead of the mind state of abundance. So they lacked the faith that things were going to work out the way that they needed them to work out. And then they went back to the States, and now they struggling and putting forth all this energy to just try to maintain things, but they can't save money, and they can't do this, they can't be stable. Like, I talk to them all the time, so it's the same stuff. Mm-hmm. So it's like the people that have enough faith, and I want to say that's in the Bible too. The people that have enough faith, they don't have any issues. They're just like, man, the universe gonna work it out. It's just gonna be a situation that happens. Something gonna pop up. Whatever.
Yeah.
You know, but faith, even though it's something that cannot be measured or seen, it's something that does exist.
Oh yeah. Oh, so like me, I don't know. I just got to I had to discipline myself to don't need money, to hate money, just hate.
Hate
I ain't gonna say hate, just.
You gotta hate it. Just be grateful for it when it comes. You don't have to be greedy about it.
I mean, yeah, you don't gotta be greedy and this and that or whatever. But some people get to the point they don't know when is enough is. Like, they don't know when is enough. Like, you feel me? Like, money can be addictive. It's no different than tattoos. I got a bunch of tattoos. Like, yo, I got one tattoo, got another one, got another one. So it can be addictive. It can be real addictive. So I be trying to tell people, like, you know, don't be obsessed with something that ain't supporting your higher self. If it ain't supporting your higher self, like, let it go. God, just let it go.
What would you say the higher self is?
The higher self is the all. The all. The almighty divine oneness. You feel me?
So how does one go about supporting that?
First, people gotta really tap in with their right brain, man, because, you feel me, like, the one thing I know is that, like, the Tropics helped me tap in with my white brain. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you now. I thought I had all the answers, all the knowledge in the world. I was still vibrating on on that masculine side, man. Like, y'all gotta study both sides of the brain, the yin and the yang. Like, you gotta study the masculine. You know, it's logical, whatever you want to call it like that, though. But you gotta understand the feminine is like the creator. It's like the creator side, the artwork. Like, you feel me? So you gotta tap in with that right brain. And most people, like they said, the human is only operating on 30% of their brain, and that's crazy.
Isn't true.
It ain't true.
Isn't true at all. 30%, 10%. What happens is we use different parts of the brain to do different functions. Simply that. So we're using all the brain. You might use a certain part of the brain to work, a certain part of the brain to jump or swim or do something athletic, a different part of the brain to do something else. That's all that's happening because it's synapses, man. It's synapses. So if the brain is full of neurons and the neurons are having synapses to communicate with each other, it's just using the energy, just going from place to place to place to place at light speed. You know, there's a lot of what's the word? There's a lot of sometimes I like to say mental masturbation, just something that's said to make somebody feel good or think real good, or it sounds cool, or it sounds all profound and fire. But when we stick into objective truths and facts and things that we can prove, one will find that many of these people are just false prophets. Some of these gurus and stuff like that, they really just out to get the bag, and they hide it through what they do, like but you know, some of them just out there just to really get money, and they use their following, their power, what they have to do that, and they mask it. They just masking it. The reality is this: it's difficult when you look at life. It's difficult for a person to live a righteous life and be rich. If you live in a righteous life, it's gonna be hard for you to be rich and see poor people. It's gonna be real difficult, especially if you care about the world. You're gonna be like, bro, how am I have this many millions of dollars and not give to people who don't have it? How am I gonna live like that? It don't make me feel right.
Yeah.
You see, so you can.
And it's gonna be hard to keep working your job too.
It's gonna be hard. It's hard, man. Like,
Yeah.
it's different if, let's say, you a millionaire and you're like, all right, well, I wanna help this person out, so I'm gonna give them a job, or I'm gonna give them a house, or I'm gonna do something for them to help them not be in the state that they're in, because I feel bad for having so much while they have so little. If I need to be thinking about and focusing on balance, then of course I'm gonna do what I can to balance that shit out. You see? Look at all these mangoes behind me, bro. They still piling up, man.
That's crazy.
He ain't know he was gonna come to the environment. Like, he ain't know that he was gonna pop
still
up
mango.
and it was gonna be all of this.
Oh yeah.
I told him about it.
Oh yeah.
He was like, dang, bro, I
Yeah.
must be in some kind of
Oh
I
yeah.
must be in the right spot as long as
Oh
they're
yeah.
just right here.
Oh yeah. It's right there abundantly.
Right there, man. Some kind of symbolism.
Yeah.
My mind, let me say this object, my mind gotta be telling me something.
Oh yeah.
Something about this environment. Something about this place. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
What's happening? It's just raining mango?
Yeah.
What? It's raining
But-
fruit that's great for my body.
But yeah, but you know,
You good? We good?
yeah, but everybody, man, like I said, carbonation is not dead. It's not over with. It's people still doing the work.
It's a
You
preach.
feel me? But you know, I'm just trying to keep it alive. You know, I'm trying to keep it alive. I'm trying to keep people that still have that faith. You feel me? Because if they see me out here still doing it, maybe they probably vibrate back to the trop, just come back home. Like,
Yeah, we have our family members come here, man. We see her with her daughter. My auntie, my cousin and stuff came. My
Yeah.
brother finna come. Yeah.
yeah,
As long as you being that influence and leading by example, you gotta expect people to follow as long as you be in the example.
yeah,
Gotta expect it.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, like that's what I'm trying to
you
do,
ain't
man.
gotta ask, you ain't gotta beg, you ain't gotta be like, come with me. Just do it.
Yeah,
Be the front runner.
I'm gonna still do the work. That's what I'm gonna do. That's
all
the
you
only thing
can
I
do.
can do is just do the work.
See that sign with Kang? It's all you can do.
Yeah, still
all you can do.
still do the work and see, you know, try to help them vibrate here. You know,
You really don't even have to be. It's just literally. It's just gonna happen. Even if when you're not focused on trying to get this person, trying to get that person, it's just going to happen. They just come to you. What you realize, it's like the less you focus on them,
oh
the
yeah,
more likely they come.
more likely, huh?
Like, it been plenty of people I straight up ghosted them.
Oh,
Like, I be talking to them for a long time, and then I'll be like, all right, I can't take this person seriously. And I
yeah.
just stop talking to them. And then
Oh,
next
yeah.
thing you know, I get a phone call on IG or something like that. Hey man, we here. We
Oh.
here. Oh, I motherfucking thought so. I thought so. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But I wasn't finna keep putting my energy out there. I respect my energy and I love my energy. So if I love and respect my energy and I conserve my energy, I'm not finna keep putting it out there just because they want it. You got to come get it or something.
Yeah.
You gotta